I'm Nick and welcome to my shop. I have a lot of boxes and I've been working with epoxy lately and I think I want to do something with those boxes and epoxy. I'm a wood turner, so I'm going to make myself a blank to turn on the lathe. And I think I'm going to do a box. Let's do a box out of a box. That'll just be fun. Yeah, let's do that. So I need a blank about yay big and out of cardboard. So let's get to it. So for my blank, I want to do a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch. And this is 3.5 inches wide and only 3 inches deep. But this is the width I want. So I'm going to use this as a pattern to cut the cardboard. This whole thing feels like a kindergarten arts and crafts project here. Whole lot of fun, actually. So I have enough here for 4 inches. I just need to, 4 inches wide, I need to cut 10-inch long strips. I probably want to do it out of the nicer pieces of cardboard. Some of this is like damaged and smushed, so get rid of that. Yeah. What I'm looking for is like this has tape on it still, and I don't want to use that. And I don't know if this die here is going to cause issues, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, got my blank made. I just need to tape it all together so I can pour the epoxy in it. I wonder if my pressure pot's big enough for this. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to fit in here. That does not fit. So I have to make this smaller. It's a good thing I found out now. Yeah, it looks like my blank will have to be an 8-inch long blank because that's the max I can fit in here. Okay, I got it now a size that'll fit in the pressure pot and I tested it, so I'm not gonna make that mistake. Now I just need to tape it all together. And the clamp will just hold it for me. Okay, I got my blank all taped up. In the corners I put 3 layers of tape so it won't leak. And I have this lip around here so I can just pour stuff in. It should work well. So let's get to pouring. One thing I'm noticing is the corrugation of the cardboard is trapping air bubbles. And you can see here in the time lapse as they slowly bubble up. This is going to cause problems in the future. All right, so it's been a few days. This blank is cured. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. That thing's big. So the blank is poured. You can actually see through it, which is kind of what I wanted. I want to keep that cardboard structure in there. And yeah, it's just a block of cardboard and resin. This is actually a lot of resin. It's like 1.5 liters worth. Let's get this thing stripped down and on the lathe. I guess technically I could just throw this on the lathe as is and just turn away everything that's not the paper, or turn everything away that's not the blank. It seems appropriate just to tear off what you can now. This thing's pretty cool. So I got it unwrapped. It's still covered in packing tape. Kind of did that to do multiple layers to prevent it from leaking. And yeah, it's looking really good. I can barely see that mark. Pencil on packing tape is probably not the best marking method. I guess the proper thing to use here would be a grease pencil or something. But I don't have one of those. This blank is giving me difficulty getting it round. The epoxy is just kind of coming off in shards and is basically sandblasting my arm in the process. Remember all those bubbles from earlier? Well, you can see there's still a bunch of bubbles in the blank that the pressure pot and gravity and time just could not get out. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out how to get a good clean cut off of this blank. I go and sharpen my tool, and with a light pass and a sharp tool, I'm able to finally get a good cut. After all of that, I find out that some of the layers didn't bond well to each other. There's nothing I can do about it now. After I cut out some of the bad parts of the blank, I'm left with this weird shape. I want to maximize the interior size of my box, so I'm going to make the cut right here. The part on the right is going to be the bottom of the box, and the stuff on the left, I'll make a lid out of it. Let's talk design now. For this box, there's going to be a lot going on with the corrugation and the cardboard inside of it. So the shape I'm going to have to be very basic so I don't draw the eye away from that. So I'm just going to do a basic cylinder here. After turning this down for a little bit, I'm learning that carbide tools and scrapers are the best thing to use for this type of blank. Now let's make this thing look like a box. First things first, get the side to be nice and flat for the Forstner bit to grab into, and then drill the hole. Look at these beautiful shavings. One of the defining features of a box is you have a mortise and a tenon with the lid. That allows the lid to sit down in the box a little bit, it keeps it from moving around, keeps it nice and tight. So right now, I'm cutting that mortise. And now I cut the tenon. And every so often, I check the fit to make sure it's just right. There we go. Beautiful. Working my way up the box, the next thing to do is shape the lid. I'm only going to use half of this blank for the lid, and here I'm turning the handle down. I'm going to leave it kind of big so you can grab onto it and open it up. So this material that I'm working with is cardboard in epoxy, and the epoxy is sanding up really nice and cutting, but the cardboard's just kind of fraying when you sand. So I'm covering everything with CA glue to harden up that cardboard so I can sand it down and get a nice finish. I got the top cut off. I just needed to find a little trimming on it. I'll have myself a box.
No! No!
Time for a design change. I have made a box and an absolute mess, but I've made a box. The problem now is I do not know how to finish this. With epoxy, you can polish it up using like wet sanding. Thing is, I don't know what's gonna happen with water and the cardboard that's in here. So I think I can do like buffing on the wheel, but I don't know if that's gonna work either. But I have this cut off. So I'm gonna turn this down into a shape, sand it up, and try buffing this. And if it works, I know how to finish this. this is looking great. So yes, the buffing wheel is exactly the way to finish this. I'm glad I checked. This is a weird piece. I love how it came out. The corrugation adds some interesting patterns in both how you can see through it and on the side. There's also some air bubbles left in here, so that just kind of adds to the little intrigue as you look at it. But as for the material, cardboard in epoxy, it turns pretty well because of the epoxy, but that cardboard adds some difficulty. The lamination between the layers doesn't work quite right sometimes, but that can be dealt with by just turning slowly and just taking your time. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching and have fun.